Hello, I am back. Let's do some more lists and stuff, right? Mario Kart Deluxe tracks. Okay, Joel being wrong. What's this? Half-Life tier list. Oh, shit. Okay, let's do this one. This seems fun. So, I'm a big Half-Life fan, as you know. I've streamed, I think, literally every single game ever throughout many years. But, yeah, I love Half-Life. It was a treat to play Half-Life Alyx and, you know, get this franchise continued. Gold Source, the engine, is ingrained into, like, how I play video games these days. Like, I play with a high sensitivity, and I'm always playing, you know, games very Half-Life-esque. Absolutely one of my favorite games of all time, you know. This is a hard list for me to make when I think about it, actually, because I have to look over this whole franchise, like, its impact. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's how I feel what is the best games for me, you know? Okay, I don't know what that shit is on the right. What is this garbage? What is that? Dude, get that off my fucking screen. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Because it can go away. I don't know what that is. Get out of here. Goddamn Half-Life. I mean, I'm sorry, but it has to go in God tier. Not only is it because... I mean, it also has to include the engine itself. I mean... This is one of the greatest FPS games of all time. It is not the best game of ever all time, because, like, the end of Half-Life, the quality starts dipping when you get to Zen, but nothing will beat the start of Half-Life. You know, just being in Black Mesa and seeing how the entire facility has changed. The atmosphere, the music, just surviving, man. Dude, when I played this as a kid, dude, I was so into it that even one scientist dying was like a big deal for me. Like, holy shit, you know. If he's following me around, just the survival of it just felt so real. Yeah, you know, it was scary, it was just an adventure, and the enormous legacy this game has. I met so many friends through Half-Life. Half-Life, one of the greatest games of all time. It is my favorite first-person shooter of all time. It just cannot be beat. This is a juggernaut. This is the golden example, right? Not everything has aged with grace in this game, but, I mean, fuck, you load up Half-Life today, you'll have fun, you know. Hey, Opposing Force is awesome. It adds a lot of things, and what I loved about the expansions is the fact that you get to experience Half-Life from a different perspective. Binding the story together with Shepard, almost meeting Gordon, was awesome. But just the idea of being the bad guys, I love that stuff, and I love that stuff. I loved being a bad guy even further in the game, right? Like, you go in there and your objective is to just, like, silence all the scientists. So what I would do as a kid, I would, like, shoot the scientists, just be like, well, that's my mission, that's what I was trained to do. Is, you know, no, stop! It's just be like, I'm so immersed into it. Objective kill, you know. I don't know, I'm gonna put it on good tier. I'm not sure if Agent Shepard is ever canon. I mean, I don't know if the Gearbox expansion is treated as such, but for me, I'd love to see Adrian Shepard come back one of these days. Who knows? I can immediately tell you this. Blue Shift goes into OK tier. It is very short. It introduced the HD pack into the games here, which looked nice, but very, very short game. But hey, if you want Half-Life with an M16 instead of a MP5, go ahead. Is this Half-Life PlayStation 2 edition? This right here? This motherfucker? Is this Half-Life Source or is it PlayStation 2? I'm not sure what this is. I'm gonna put it in meh. I remember seeing it as a kid. I'm like, wait, PlayStation 2 Half-Life? What the fuck is this? It's not that great. I mean, sure, but why wouldn't you play this on PC, you maniac? Half-Life Source sucks ass. It sucks, okay? Alright, that is Source. That is shit tier. Half-Life Source, when it was first announced, people thought it was Black Mesa. Before Black Mesa, like, holy shit, a remake of Half-Life 1. And it's just this, like, slop. This is... Valve almost took, like, Half-Life and just, like, the equivalent of taking a PlayStation 2 game, putting it on PC, and just being, like, let's take the raw files from the ISO and just slap it into MS Paint and say, it works now. I mean, it's horrendous. They never adjusted anything for the Source engine. It's bad. It's bad. It's almost like Definitive Edition before Definitive Edition. Seeing these old, like, Gold Source models flop around and with Ragdoll, it's just like, ugh. And there's a style mismatch, too. Like, what this is, it's Half-Life with ragdolls and shiny water. Like, features are missing, the lights are fucked, and they never, like, fix it beyond this. It's just a bad. Alright, Half-Life 2. I can't believe a sequel can be this good. Seriously. The year is 2004. Half-Life 2 comes out. The monumental build-up to this. You have to remember, Half-Life was 98. 6 years later, this game comes out. 6 years today is nothing. Back then, a year is like a fucking monolith. in terms of video game development, Half-Life 2, man, dude, this game still holds up. The facial animations and the characters, the gameplay, just the physics, man. I still remember I still get excited watching like Half-Life 2 E3 physics trailers of like, you can break windows, you can put a box and put the box on the box. Just what? You know, I've never seen anything like it. Like this game changed everything. Gary's mod, like. These two games have shaped people's lives in so many ways, you know. But Half-Life 2, man, what really astounds me too about this game is that I had a really bad PC, right? And having games run okay on your PC was a rarity. Half-Life 2 I got for Christmas in 2004 or whatever, and I had asked for Half-Life 2, and I knew I shouldn't ask for it because I will never be able to play it. I opened it up on Christmas, and I'm like, Half-Life 2, and I'm just like, holy shit, it's Half-Life fucking 2. Like, I was like crying, I was that happy. Put it in, I install it, I'm like, okay, Steam. I guess I gotta install Steam. Here we go. I know it's not gonna run. It fucking runs. Not only is it running, but is it running okay as well? Oh my god. It might not have run that great in hindsight, but just the fact that it was running is holy shit. Still one of my favorite games of all time. So Half-Life 2. I mean, there's a reason why people go nuts over these games. I'm gonna say this too. The vehicle sections in Half-Life 2, a lot of people say are shitty. I like them. I like the airboat section. I think it's cool. Just the sound and like, you're seeing the world with the vehicle. It's telling a story while also introducing new things. So you get to see like the water has sunken down, the environments have turned into a toxic sludge, and I like them. Only flaw with Half-Life 2, in my opinion, doesn't make it Bible tier, is the squad section at the end of the game. Before Breen, you're expected to like lead a revolution against the Combine. That section kind of sucks, in my opinion. Like when you're using the gravity gun on a bunch of mines, and you're doing this shit with like Barney with the laser stuff. I don't think nobody likes that section. Antlions, dude, Vortigons, dude, everything about this game is amazing. Episode 1 is okay tier. Valve wanted to try an episodic format. It was something new and exciting at the time, like Sin Episode 1. It was not an Episode 2 of that. Episode 1 is just, it's nice to continue the story, but it's like, it feels like a blue shift. It's kind of short and it's just, oh, neat, I guess. But, dude, have you ever said, I want to play Episode 1? Episode 2 is where it's fucking at, okay? In fact, I would say Episode 1 is met tier. I would play Blue Shift any day over Episode 1. Episode 1 is just nice, but it's like, it's just incidental filler in terms of Half-Life 2. This whole thing can just be a recap for this. Episode 2 is great, though. It's just full of great stuff, you know? Yeah, I guess that's my list. Half-Life Alyx goes into good tier over here. It still cannot hold a candle to these two juggernauts. Alyx is really fun and really good, but it just cannot match this. These two games is marbled into the history of video games as the best ever. I would say it's good plus tier, Half-Life Alyx. Unfortunately, there's no God plus tier where I would put Hunt Down the Freeman in, so that sucks, you know, hey. I'll put Black Mesa in good minus tier, alright? Black Mesa is really fun, but that Zen section at the end of the game is like the Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. It gives me diarrhea. Some stuff in Zen is really good, but then you get to the Garg section and you're like, what the fuck? What is this? You don't know where you're going, and it's just like awful scripted cinematic-esque events of you're just like, go here, and you're like, oh, it's so confusing. What the fuck? Super ambitious and all that stuff, but not very fun to play at times. It's like neat to look at, but yeah, it's like a bouncy castle of colors, neon colors, and you're like, ah, but it looks good. So, a trampoline. Yes, Zen is like an alien gooey trampoline, and you're like, huh, okay. You know, but that's my Half-Life list. I love these games, and you know, just talking about these fucking games is making me want to play this, and I can almost promise you, seeing this list and hearing me talk about Half-Life is probably making you want to load up Steam and be like, you know what, I haven't played Half-Life in a couple years, let's play that, you know? So, it just goes to show how incredible these games are, man. Where would you rank Codename Gordon? Fucking the best ever, you know? Come on. There you go, Half-Life. Hooray.
Now, listen carefully, my dear. When you see your father, relay these words.
Global lactation.
Shit!